From the very moment humanity first recognized its existence, a profound question arose. What awaits us on the other side? Beyond the final breath? What remains when the body grows still and the heart falls silent? Death, the vast unknown. It has always been present, in the last gasps of the dying, in the encroaching shadow of dusk, in the rustle of leaves, on the cemetery wind, and perpetually beyond comprehension. But among all the texts concerning the soul and its journey after death, there are some rarely spoken of. They are not read in temples, nor are they taught in seminaries. They have been concealed. I speak of the Secret Gospels, the Gnostic texts, unearthed from dusty caves in Egypt, forgotten and condemned, yet preserving what was once considered too perilous for official belief. It is within these lines that one can discover the boldest, most profound, and most startling descriptions of what happens to the soul post-mortem. Not hell, nor heaven, nor a conventional last judgment, but something entirely different. A mystical passage, a spiritual ascension, a test of the truth within oneself. What if these texts spoke the truth? What if you have already been there and simply forgotten? What we call the Secret Gospels are not fictional elaborations or modern fantasies. They are authentic ancient writings. They were found buried in earthenware jars in Nag Hammadi, Egypt, in 1945. This discovery occurred almost immediately after the Second World War, as if humanity itself was finally prepared to hear something different. They were penned by those who called themselves Gnostics, seekers of inner knowledge. They did not pursue power, nor did they construct grand churches. Their aim was far deeper, to comprehend truth through the soul's direct experience, rather than through external doctrines. These individuals believed that within each of us lies a spark of divine light, that the true God is not a punishing judge, but a source of profound love and truth. And our world, they held, is not the apex of creation, but a distorted reflection of higher realms, an illusion woven by forces unwilling for us to awaken. Prominent among the Gnostic Gospels are the Gospel of Thomas, Philip, Mary Magdalene, the Apocryphon of John, and the Book of Egret. They recount aspects absent from the New Testament, the hidden teachings of Jesus, the soul and its trajectory, the memory we have lost, submerged in material existence. The Gospel of Mary describes how the soul, after death, encounters obstacles, forces attempting to restrain it in this world. It is asked, "Whence have you come and what have you done in life?" And only the cognizant soul can respond and pass onward. In the Apocryphon of John, one of the most crucial Gnostic texts, it is stated that the world was not created by the true God, but by an impostor, an Archon, and that the soul must ascend back, overcoming false levels designed to detain it. And in the Book of Egret, almost forgotten yet rich in potent symbolism, the soul's journey through spheres of light is depicted, where each level poses questions to it, revealing its essence, as though unveiling a mirror of its own truth before it. These descriptions starkly differ from conventional religious notions, where the soul faces an immediate verdict, destined for heaven or hell. Each sphere poses a question, sometimes directly, sometimes through a challenging experience. Did you live authentically, or did you conceal yourself behind masks? Did you extend compassion, or did you pass judgment on others? Were your intentions pure, or were your actions driven by apprehension, ego, or avarice? Did you exist in conscious awareness, or did you merely drift through life habitually, oblivious to your true identity? Should the soul fail to provide an adequate response, it becomes suspended, perhaps returning to a lower state or lingering in what is termed the gray space, an intermediary zone where temporal and spatial boundaries dissolve, and the soul remains disoriented until its inherent vitality is restored. Conversely, if the soul retains its memory, if it embodies inner illumination, and if it apprehended its genuine identity while still embodied, it then proceeds unhindered, past the Archons and through the various realms. The Gnostics asserted, knowledge brings liberation, not as factual information, but as a deep esoteric realization of one's fundamental nature. A soul cognizant of its identity does not recoil from light, rather it transmutes into light itself. This progression transcends mere physical space. It is a path defined by vibrational frequencies and altered states of consciousness. The soul's ascent is not literally upward, but profoundly inward, guiding it homeward to its primordial source. As the soul continues its upward journey through these realms, it does not encounter a punitive tribunal presided over by an angry deity holding an inventory of transgressions. Within the Esoteric Gospels, the soul's adjudication is depicted not as a penalty, a form of retribution, or a terrifying rite involving fire and torment. Instead, it is a process of profound recognition. The Gnostics articulated that the soul is greeted by forces of light, not discrete personalities, but rather conscious energies, stewards of the divine cosmic arrangement. Their mission is not to pass condemnation, but to unveil to the soul its authentic nature. They assist in stripping away pretenses and discerning reality from misconception. This evaluative process does not resemble a punitive sentence, but an introspective journey of self-discovery. It is akin to a pristine mirror into which the soul gazes for the first time without any distortion. And within this unblemished reflection, it perceives its entirety, every single intention, every nascent thought, every felt emotion. A compelling analogy naturally comes to mind. In the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead, the heart of the deceased was ritually weighed against the feather of Ma'at, representing truth. Should the heart prove lighter, the soul would transition to the afterlife. If heavier, it faced annihilation by oblivion. The process in Gnostic tradition bears a striking resemblance, except that the criterion is not the body's mass, but the essence of consciousness. Among the most remarkable tenets of these doctrines is the conviction that neither falsehood nor concealment is possible for the soul, because this judgment is intrinsically light, and light inherently illuminates all. The presiding entities are not stern, punitive figures akin to those depicted in religious iconography. Rather, they are custodians of profound wisdom. Their role is not to mete out punishment, but simply to unveil reality, leaving the soul to either embrace or avert itself from the truth. Along the soul's journey towards enlightenment, there are entities unwilling to release it. Gnostics named these beings Archons. These are not mere demons or malevolent spirits, but rather forces that subsist on ignorance, energies of control, fear, falsehood, and delusion. They construct intricate labyrinths, devise rules, and present disguises and counterfeit truths. Their objective is to confine the soul within a material snare. They don't inflict direct torment. Instead, they deceive, masquerade as light, and assume the role of false arbiters. Upon the soul's departure from the body and commencement of its ascent, the Archons confront it, questioning, testing, sometimes intimidating, sometimes alluring. Their inquiries are not aimed at uncovering truth, but solely at causing confusion. Only a soul that remembers its true nature can pass through. Gnostic scriptures teach the Archons are not omnipotent.
Their power lies in fear and ignorance. If the soul recognizes its essence, it can traverse through them, just as light pierces shadow. To achieve this, however, it must know its true name. Not the name of its physical form, but the name of its spirit, the profound vibration of its very being. The Gospel of Philip speaks of secret words, of passwords the soul must recall. These are not mystical incantations, but rather a state of consciousness, an inherent knowledge of one's divine nature. The inner eye is light. The Archons fear light because it exposes their illusory existence. A soul carrying awareness becomes imperceptible to them, invulnerable and liberated. This path is arduous but attainable, and only a soul that awakens during its lifetime is truly capable of navigating it with clear vision. The judgment of the soul is not a future event. It is an ongoing process, unfolding here and now, with every choice you make, with every breath. We commonly conceive of judgment as an external assessment, where an outside entity evaluates us and determines our rectitude. In Gnostic teachings, however, the concept differs. Judgment is an internal mirror, commencing not after death, but the instant you first ponder, who am I, truly? All that awaits us beyond this life is something we already carry within. The light resides within, as does the truth. And so do the Archons. These are the fears, beliefs, and patterns we harbor internally, from which we struggle to break free. The Secret Gospels do not instill fear or promise either heaven or hell. Instead, they call, they awaken, they whisper, remember. Remember who you are beyond all roles, names, and personal histories. You are not merely a physical being, nor solely a personality, nor simply a product of your past. Rather, you are a luminous spark of a magnificent soul, charting its course back home. Every single step on this path holds profound importance. Each awakening, every instance of genuine realization. This judgment of the soul is in fact a profound homecoming to your truest self. It marks the precise moment you cease to fear gazing upon your true essence, understanding that deep within only pure light resides. And should these words resonate with you now, it's quite probable that your soul has already begun its process of remembrance.